Good morning, sir. Hello.
Yes. The camera also still not allowed. Yes.
Good morning. Myself, Dr. Vidya A, Professor and Head, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. So, good morning and welcome to online workshop on entrepreneurship skill, attitude, and behavior development. So, being organized by Department of Computer Science and Engineering in association with Institution Innovation Council, VKIT. So, on this outset, I would like to welcome our beloved principal, Dr. Padmanabha S, sir. So we welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome Dr. N. Govindaraju, sir, Advisor cum Administrator, VKIT campus. I would like to welcome Vice Principal, Dr. D.V. Chandrasekhar, sir, and all the office bearers of Institution Innovation Council, VKIT, and heads of all the departments. Finally, I would like to welcome today's speaker, Prakash Nimbalkar, sir, and my dear students to this online workshop on entrepreneurship skill, attitude, and behavior management development. Now it's time to introduce Prakash N. Nimbalkar, sir, to the audience. Prakash Nimbalkar, sir, a marketing and communication specialist with over 25 years of experience, ranging from sales, media, events, digital marketing, which spreads across India and Middle East. So he has been involved in building brands and scaling operations for both Indian and international brands. Teaching and training being a passion, he holds Train the Trainer Global Certification from Dale Carnegie. So presently, sir is associated with MATS, Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship, besides being a mentor and advisor to startups. He is also mentoring 3 startups in their early stage. He is associated with Wadhwani Foundations and CII startup programs as mentor. So it's our honor that today we have Prakash Nimbalkar, sir, with us. So on behalf of everyone at VKIT, we welcome you, sir. Now I would request our principal to address the gathering. Hello, sir. Hello. Hello. Now I would request Prakash Nimbalkar, sir, to take over the session and give insight into what is the entrepreneurship skill, attitude, behavior development to our students. I request all the participants to mute themselves. Manoj GN, kindly mute yourself.
Okay, morning to everybody, and thank you, the Institute, Vivekananda Institute of Technology, Dr. Padmanabha, Principal Sir, thank you very much, and Dr. Vidya to reach me out for this session. This is my second session with the Institute, and I don't know, some of you have been there last time as well with me. I think there are some noise. Mercy and Manoj, if you can mute yourself. Mercy. Okay, great. So I just want, if some of you, those, if you can just raise hand in the screen for me to understand how many of you are looking at, going in for planning your own venture after your education. How many of you are looking at your own, creating your own startups? Are there anybody? No one here? Come on, age is on your side. No, I always tell that I am born little 20 years ahead of time. If I've been as young as you, there's 100% sure I would have started some venture because I have so many ideas and so many things that I want to do it. So I'm sure some of you share the screen. Okay, and one request to each one of you, the students who are here, including even faculty members. Yeah, Grace, thank you very much. So that shows in that group of 70 odd, at least one person is listening to me. That is Grace. At least Grace knows what I spoke. Okay, what I asked. Thank you, Grace. Okay, one request to each one of you, faculty members as well as the students here. Anytime if you have anything, you can raise your hand to ask the question in between also, no issues on that. Or if you can keep your questions at the end, I'll definitely end it well before the allotted time, so that in case you have any questions, anything, you can, we can take it up. Okay, take it up and do it one-on-one with you. Okay, so that's it. I'll just share the screen. And then just give me a minute. I think there are some people who are waiting in the room. some people waiting in the room, if you can just see. Okay, great. All of you can see the screen. Any or raise your hand. Ma'am, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. The screen is visible.
Okay, great. So the topic is on the topic. Now, one quick question here is, can you just come out with this answer? Please be participative. My request: customer do not buy product or services. What actually they buy? Can anybody type it in the chat box? What do customer do? I have actually given the answer. It's a solution to your problem, because we all as customers, we don't buy products and services. We buy something that solves my problem. Okay, the product and services are only is the outer part of it, but internally, we all look for solution to my problem. Okay, let's look at simple case of an Uber. What is the problem it's solving? It's a multiple problem for us. For me, getting out of my home, okay, I don't need to go out and stand in the middle of the road and stop 10 or 15 rickshaws and ask them to go to us. How do I do? I don't know. Get them everybody's muting so that when they are raising hand, they can ask them. So coming back, as in when we have requirement of Ola and Uber, so that's the benefit of this entire thing, Ola and Uber. Same thing with if you take any of them. If you take let's say Spotify, the music that you people needed, okay, the Paytm that you use for making the payment, all that is solving a problem that we have. Okay, without an app solving any problem, we are not looking at that. So customers, today's world, customer look at solution to their problem. That's where we have. And let's look at what is the startup ecosystem in India, how much it is relevant today. We are third largest startup ecosystem in the world. We were number 5, number 7, but today we are just behind US and China. Okay, so we are number 3 when it comes to right from the government machinery which is there to support the startups. Okay, right from the administrative which is there, right from the financial thing, ecosystem of incubators, accelerators, okay, various things that cover the entire thing. So we are one of the largest which is there. Number of registered startup, recognized startup through the Startup India portal or the organization which is Government of India thing. We have 84,000 plus startups as in 2022. Okay, that's a number that we have. So many startups are there with us. Number 2 in the world of number of startups that we have. The number of startups, if you look at it, we are number 2. That is 84,000 plus that is registered. We are just behind US. And then we are giving an year-on-year growth of 12 to 15% on the startups thing environment, which is growing in our country. Okay, venture by women. There are so many women folks who are here. Okay, for the good news is that the ventures by women startups have gone up to 14%. So 14% of all startups which are there in India are led by women folks here. One of the biggest one is Nykaa, which is by Falguni Nayak that we have. India has over 100 unicorns with a total valuation of 345 billion. That's the kind of number that we have. We have over 5 unicorns which is there. Can anybody tell me what's the meaning of unicorn? How do you say which is unicorn? I'm sure all of them can unmute yourself and speak. Anybody here can speak or type it in the chat box. What is an unicorn? Come on, open up. It's a Monday morning and it's not early in the morning. It's already 11:30. Nobody here? Quite surprising.
Yes, guys, come on. It should be an interactive session.
Let's learn it from each other. What is a unicorn? Okay, unicorn is one which the startups value is $1 billion, which is 8,000 crore plus today. Startup which has valuation of $1 billion. Yes, Vishal, you are correct. Thank you. Okay. So that's where you have. So we have 105 such startups whose value is more than 8,000 crore today. Okay. So totaling around 345 billion. Okay. Then what is that we are talking about? We are talking about 21 unicorns were born in 2022. Last year itself, we had 21 of such unicorns, and we are talking about $25 billion. One unicorn added in 9 days in 2022. Okay, that's where we are looking at. That's the kind of thing. Okay, the numbers could be very staggering. That October December 22, India added maximum unicorn than any other country in the world, and Bangalore is listed in the world's 20 leading startups in 2019, and also ranked as one of the fastest 5 growing startup cities in the world. That's where Bangalore is, and you are at the center of the action. I must say that you people are in the middle of the action, being Bangalore, and Bangalore always keeps fighting with Delhi. There are a couple of months in a year, then Delhi becomes #1, but we always come back. Okay, look at the number that we have, which is what I just told you. In 2020, 2016, we were 452 startups. Then we went to 2023, we went to 2022, we were 23,000 startups that we are. Today, we are talking about a total cumulative number of 84,000. Okay, startup fund, which is there, okay, by the government of India, which is 3,204 crores, okay, has been utilized, whereas approved is 10,000, allocated is 7,500, but utilized is only 3,200. That shows a big allocated and utilized. So you people need to come up with ideas and which are possible to be taken to the next level, so that these funds which are showing a gap between allocated to utilized, okay, that gap can be filled up, and the more and more the fund which has been allocated can be actually utilized for that. Startup India Seed Fund, which is available to every startup that is get registered on Startup India website. Okay, we have 945 such crore, 945 approved the fund. 455 has been allocated, but then only 186 crore have been utilized in the last 1 year. Okay, that's a number. Again, we are showing it. Approved is 945, allocated itself is 455, but utilized is only 186. We are talking about 370 odd crores has been remained unutilized. That is, the ideas were not up to the mark that the money could be given to them. Okay, look at the job creation. We are very much attached with this number. That's the job creation that we have. We are looking at total close to around 3 lakh jobs. Over 3 lakh jobs there in 2023 by the startup. If you see, it's been increasing from 2016, which was 43,000. Then it kept on moving, and then we are now at close to 3 lakh jobs being created by various startups across India, and these are DPI-18 organization of Government of India. Okay, so that's where we have. Okay, and these are some of the unicorns in 2022. Okay, these are the leading unicorns which have come in. We have DealShare, LiveSpace, Games 24. Some of the names you know it yourself. Tata 1mg. Okay, Amagi is one which is based on Bangalore. Okay, all Darwin Box. All these are the unicorn. They all become unicorn in 2022. Okay, and this is one data which is for important for us like mentors. We are there. What we look at is that the 42% of the to survive. The reason is that they are working on products and solutions which there is no market. Remember one thing: as you work with your ideas, as you work with your with your venture, you have to make sure that the product that you are coming out with has got a market for that. So make something that you want to make and then try to sell it. Instead, sell. Okay, provide a product or service for which you think that there is a requirement by the people. So only when you have people looking for a product or a solution or a service, Okay, then if you make that, the chances of the venture being success is big. 1 minute, I have to keep admitting people as well. Okay. Okay. Now, what are the entrepreneurship myths and realities that we are talking about? First one, entrepreneurs are high risk takers. Yes, that's a reality. It's not a myth. They are risk takers because some of them have quit their jobs, okay, and started their own startups in a very early stage. Some of them have borrowed some money, okay. Some of them have spent their own savings and then created that. So it's not a myth. They are risk takers. Look at, I can give you example of your own PTM Vijay Shekhar. Okay, what he has done is he took a lot of time to settle down. He used his own personal money, and just to manage his own survival, to stay floated in life, he had taken up a job which was half day from 2 o'clock till 8 o'clock. Okay, so that he earned some basic money to take care of his food, rental, and other thing. And then rest of the time, that is evening late until early morning, he used to work on his startup. He was building and creating Paytm. Okay, there was even a time when he used to go to his own house, that is his one-room flat in Delhi. He used to go after 12 o'clock, but exit the apartment or the house before 7 a.m. because after 7, the chances of his owner coming in and asking for rent was very high. And again, before 12, the owner could come. So he used to avoid his owner because he could not pay the rent for a couple of months. So that's why he used to go in from 12 o'clock till 7. So many times he used to invite himself, inviting himself to his friend's house so that he can get lunch or dinner. For that, he could not even the days that they have taken in. Are high risk taker. Entrepreneurs are born. It is a myth. Okay, if you look at present stage, any of the entrepreneurs who are there, none of them are born with any of the silver spoon, as we call them. They all have get their own venture by here only bootstrapping. Okay, by using whatever little means of money, technology, or resources, whatever resources that they had, they did create their venture out of that. So they are not born rich. Okay, they are not born entrepreneurs. They became entrepreneurs by learning and trying to create something. Entrepreneurs are focused on getting rich. Again, it's a myth. It's not a reality. There are so many of us who are not. Look at Zoho from Chennai. Okay, it's not something which is planned and created to become rich, because Mr. Bembu himself has been giving out so much to the employees in return to their time and effort and what they are doing. He doesn't look at hoarding the money and reading the profit with him. He's been dispersing it very well. A lot of charity program that he has got, a lot of other things. So his focus is not on becoming rich. His focus is more on creating a product which is having a user base and making them utilize technology in the best possible way, run their own business. Okay, that's where it is there. Let's focus on personal life. To some extent, it is a reality. Yes, I do not deny it. The reason is that as you are early stage startup, because I'm also mentoring a couple of startups in my personal capacity, I've seen some of these young people who are into their startups. They really don't have any time, okay, for their own for their personal life. They have not been on a holiday. They don't even watch movies. They don't watch television. They're always thinking and trying to develop, trying to create, trying to enhance their product and their service that they're planning to offer. So there's very little personal life that they have. Okay, in fact, there is a famous story by Mr. Ritesh Agarwal. I'm sure some of you know Mr. Ritesh Agarwal, founder of Oyo. Okay, that you see the hotel chain that you have. He in fact made a statement in one of the forum. He said that if you're looking at creating your own startup, for at least 4 or 5 years of early stage of your startup, don't stay with your family. Okay, with your parents and other thing, don't stay with them. Stay away from them. The reason is that they don't understand the pressure that you have to create something. So they'll always tell, okay, go back to sleep, it's late and all that. Especially your parents, mother and father, see you working till 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the night. They'll come and knock the door and say that, why don't you sleep for some time? It's pretty late. So those, he says, are distraction. And then family commitment, going for this function. So Ritesh said that, made the statement saying that for the early stage of your startup, don't stay with your family, go away and stay alone. So that will give you a lot of time to focus and reflect on your business that you have. Okay, so that's again kind of reality. Entrepreneurs are often high-tech wizard. No, need not have to be. There are a lot of startups or founders who are using technology. Okay, but for that, understanding the requirement of the customers and the service that they have leveraged technology. But for that, they are not, they know little bit about technology, but they got the right people to do the job. So you don't need to be a tech guy to create an app, to create a website, to create all that. You can plan and work on it and how to utilize such options which are available, service which are available by others. Entrepreneurs finance their business with others' capital. No, the biggest example today is a famous earphone company which is called Boat. I'm sure all of you know the company Boat. It's totally bootstrapped. Okay, it was created by Aman Gupta and his partner, and they, for a larger time of that business, they didn't raise fund. Okay, and they've been selling small quantity, taking the profit, and invested their own money, and then created India's almost #1 brand of audio equipments which we have, personal audio equipments that we have. So it's again a myth that entrepreneurs generally start their business with others' capital. It's purely myth. It's not a reality. Only those who start at young age become entrepreneurs. Again, it's a myth. It's reality. I don't know Colonel Sanders. Please raise your hand. Let me ask. Don't Google. Since it's an online thing, it's a little difficult for me to keep a track. Okay. How many of you know Colonel Sanders? Can anybody raise your hand? Colonel Sanders. All of you are consumers of Colonel Sanders. He started only after attained the age of 60. Yeah, Manas. In the chat box, if you can type. Nobody knows Colonel Sanders. Very famous guy, and you are customers of Colonel Sanders. Most of you. Okay. Is KFC. Yes, Manas, I requested you to type it in the chat. Okay, so KFC started by Colonel Sanders, and there he was, one of the founders of the KFC at the age after 60 that he started. So it's a myth again that you got to be young to start your own venture. You can start it at any time. Yesterday I was talking to one gentleman. He is coming to Bangalore today. Okay, he wanted to meet me because he has got a technology patented product, and he is 75. He said he started working on this product only around 10 years back. Okay, that is when he was around 64, 65. He started working. Today he has got patent given to his product. Now he wants to get into commercial. He's coming to meet Indian students and a couple of other such scientific organizations which are there in research and other things, and he wants to get going with manual manufacturing of his product. So even at 64, 65, this gentleman started working on the product, and today he has got the product. So there is no age creating something. Okay. Barriers to entrepreneurship. What are the things that put a stumbling block in our journey to become a better entrepreneur? That's lack of viable concept. Now, remember when I told you in the beginning itself, if you have a startup for which there is no market, if you cannot find customers' pain point, don't start manufacturing the product. It's very difficult for you to work on that. Yeah, I know once KFC is an American. Okay. So first thing is that your concept, the product or service that you have, it should be viable. Viable for the customers to use it, viable for you to go and scale it up and make it to the next level. In both ways, it has to be viable. So the first thing is that there are a lot. I keep meeting young startups who come with the idea of their product or service, but it's very vague. I tell them to refine it, work more on that, and try and bring a direction to the entire thing. So that's what you do. So a lot of refinement, a lot of focus need to be done. People, students or young people, founders, they come with the rough sketch of the idea of their. It has to be fine-tuned. Lack of market knowledge. Certain time you need to really know what is the market that you're in, who is your end customer. That's very, very important for you to know. Ultimately, when you have a sketch of how your customer looks like, Now, it's very, very important because you know the demographic, psychographic of your customer. Some of you who have studied marketing, you know that we call it as a segmenting. Which segment of the society is your potential customers who are there? So you got to know the market, and not only from the customer perspective, also from the manufacturing part of it. If your product is something that you need to manufacture, it's not a service industry, it's manufacturing. You need to know from where to source the raw material, what is the process required, how the end product is coming, and where it's going to deliver. If it has shelf life, what's the shelf life? All that you need to keep in mind as you move ahead with that. So that's another barrier to entrepreneurship. There are a lot of young founders who come, they have less knowledge, or they don't have complete knowledge on the market. Lack of technical skill, okay, that's also barrier, because basic technical thing, you don't need to be tech wizard, okay, but you need to understand and know the basic how to services, how you are able, how you will be able to leverage this service, okay, or the technology to provide the best experience, user experience to your customers. So that is again very, very important for you. So that much of technical knowledge you got to have. Lack of capital, yes, it is also a barrier sometime. Okay, in certain capital intensive startups that you people work on, you got to know what kind of money is required and how to have that. So certain time, some of the businesses that I have come across, and most of us come across, is that capital intensive business that we have, and that is where the founders get stuck. They don't have either the resources to raise that kind of money, or they don't have that kind of money. Lack of business know-how. You got to know how to prepare a business plan, how to prepare a pitch deck, how to understand the nuances of the market, how to negotiate. All these are basic business nuances that you have. You need all this to be able to be a successful entrepreneur. Legal constraint regulations, certain times, remember, you got to play with the government policies, whichever country, either in India or outside, that you have. You got to play with what are the rules and regulations which are encompassing or regulating that particular industry or that particular business. Today, you can say, I have an excellent bottles to people like Swiggy, Instamart, or something. You can eat, because none of the states in India allow delivery of liquor at home. So that policy has not yet come. So you need to know what are the framework of government policies and other things that you have. If you are getting into a fintech lending, finance lending scheme, there are certain regulations which are prescribed by the Reserve Bank of India and other such bodies. So you need to follow those, keep your business inside those framework, and then start to do it. So you have to know those constraints, those framework ahead on your business. There are risks in entrepreneurship. Yes, first, the risk of capital. You put in some money, that if you're not properly taken into the level, not guided the entire thing, so that entire capital can go kaput. That entire capital may vanish, or may go down the drain. So there is a risk of capital which is there. If you borrow money from somebody, maybe your parents have lent you money, maybe your friends have lent you some money, relatives have given. So you got to be very, very careful about that. And that is where the risk is attached with the capital. Risk of technology. Certain what happens if you're creating a business venture which is totally based on depending on technology, you need to keep yourself abreast with what's happening with the technology, because technology sometimes go upward. Generally technology keeps on enhancing. And that is where the problem comes in, that your technology that you are using, the platform that you are using, should not be obsolete as you move ahead. So you need to keep upgrading your product, service, the platform, and how are you to be constantly upgraded and in tune with what is happening in today's environment. So you need to constantly upgrade your technology. Risk of competition. Yes, any business that starts newly, okay, always will have the risk of competition, because people see others are making money, they tend to get in to the same business. Look at how you all know the ID Idli Dosa. It was the first of its kind, the product which came, the brand one in that category. Today, if you 4 or 6 brands of the similar products available, so competition will always come. As simple as a bottle of packaged drinking water, you have 6 or 7 brands which are there, and there are regional brands which are available in certain pockets of the country, and there are no national brands which are there. There are national brands also, but you always have 2 to 3 regional brands which comes in. So competition is always there. Risk of product market fit. What is product market fit? I'll just quickly tell you. Product market fit is nothing but the day you reach a product or create a product and you get a confirmation that this product is ready for a larger market. That's called product market fit. When you have reached a level where your product is being endorsed, being accepted, and being bought, okay, by a larger user base, that's where we call it as a product market fit. That's where you have, that's a risk. How you quickly from the drawing board you take your product or service to the level where it is product market fit. It becomes a product market fit. Is a customer retention. We all know that each new customer that you get it comes with a cost. So it's always better to keep on experience, good quality product, good experience of your platform or the product, the ultimately real need of the customers at all the time. That is better than always looking for new customers, because new customers generally come with a cost part of it. Okay, it's an older customer, they are there with you, and you don't need to, once a customer is acquired and he or she is happy with your product and service, you don't need to spend any money to retain that particular customer, as long as your products are properly focused and delivered. Okay. What are the attitudes of successful entrepreneurs? And this is where important things come. You got to have certain attitudes to become a successful entrepreneur. Okay, first one is attitude towards imagination. Remember, which is what I've been right from the beginning. Sanjay, mute yourself. Yeah, thank you. Attitude towards imagination. You got to move ahead and keep looking at ideas, keep looking at execution ways to take your product or service to the next level. There are ways how you can scale it up. There are ways how you can make sure that your product is as friendly as possible. Okay, so not a product, most of the time when you launch a product, the product goes to refinement. It goes through its own changes which is there. So those changes are possible as and when you start looking at your customer, their experience, and what are the flaws they are finding in your product or service. And based on that, you got to fine tune and upgrade and enhance the usability, the features, and the benefits of your product or service. So you got to have an attitude of imagination. Going and look at how both the company which is in your personal audio system, how we have come. The market for personal audio system was very, very tough with big time dadas who are sitting there, right from Apple, okay, Samsung, Sennheiser, and all those companies which are international brands which are there. But then a company came from India, okay, scaled up so well. They had the imagination to take satisfied user experience that they have. Okay, that is where, so you got to have, as an entrepreneur, you got to have the imagination that is there. Next is attitude towards risk. Yes, entrepreneurship is a journey which is filled with risk, lot of risk of losing capital. We have seen risk of the product being outdated. Okay, we've seen so many products which are outdated, which are no more in taste of people today, including the social media like Facebook is less of the preferred one, both by people and also both by advertisers. We don't go to Facebook to advertise for our brand. The reason is very cluttered. Okay, and then lot of people said are not on Facebook. They are all moved to Instagram, Snap. So that's where you need to develop an attitude, okay, to develop and mold and look at various options for how to adopt the risk, how to embrace the risk and go ahead with that. That is where you need to be open to the risk, open to look at risk. So that's where one more attitude that you need to have. attitude towards looking for new opportunities. You always keep on looking and finding out the new opportunities that comes in. Certain opportunities may not be there today, but then that will come by virtue of a shift in consumer behavior, consumer purchase, a shift in how the society moves towards the next one. So that is where the new opportunities come in. Look at it, 5-6 years before Reliance Jio came, how many of us knew very well, okay, before Reliance Jio came in, that there will be a time that most of us will be using the mobile phone as our point of internet. We browse, okay, internet for looking for information. We look at our mobile phone for entertainment, watching YouTubes and other such video. We use internet on mobile phone for our social media, staying in touch with family, shopping, and even education, learning. That I'm sure some of you at this moment are consuming the data for attending this particular program. Okay, so you need to look at opportunities that are there. Look at Zoom, which is there. Okay, there was hardly any kind of kind of support for Zoom platform till COVID came in. But the moment the COVID came in, most of us knew how to work. I have been using Zoom from 2007. Okay, on and off. 2017. It was on and off, not very much on a regular basis. But then 2020, when Corona hit us or the COVID time came, we started using Zoom in a big way. Today, even a 7-8-year-old kid knows how to navigate him or herself on Zoom platform. So that's where you are. So you need to look at opportunities. And because of the Zoom, a lot of other new things have come in. There are easily 4 or 5 other such platforms which are similar to Zoom and Google Meet, which are also available. So those are again new opportunities which come in because of the society that we are looking at, because of what has hit us in the last couple of years. Attitude towards building relationship or networking. Remember, never close yourself. Be always open to learn, meet people, understand people, try to learn from them, trying to see what they're doing. Okay, so don't go if you're going for any forum, any kind of a get together, conference and seminar, don't go and sit in one corner. Try and mingle with people. You got to have an attitude for building relationships, because as you develop and scale your own business, you will have a lot of such opportunities where you need to mingle with people. You need to understand, create your forum, try and see what they're doing, try and see what you can learn from them, share experiences, learn from each other. All that has to do. So you got to have an attitude to build relationship and grow from there. And attitude towards customer. This is very, very important for you. I'm going to spend a little more time on this. Is what is your attitude towards customer? The companies which have closed themselves towards the customers have not been a successful organization. You got to be listening to your customers always. Understand why are they buying it? Okay, how are they buying it? How often? Somebody's mic is on. If you can mute yourself, great. So you got to know who is buying. Okay, why are they buying? How often do they buy? And if somebody is not buying, why are they not buying? Those are important things for you. So understanding customer, and also understand customers' user journey, understand customers' purchase psychology, understands customers, the purchase journey as such. Because supposing let's look at a simple thing of you wearing a particular brand of shoe. Let's say Nike. You're wearing a Nike. So you bought it yesterday, but before buying that, what was your journey? So it could be first is that you went on internet, okay, or before going on internet, you spoke to a couple of your friends, okay, which is a good shoe I wanted. This is the purpose. This is the requirement that I have, and this is where I'm looking for a pair of shoes. So you collected all the data, all the information, and then you said, okay, now I got it. This one, these are the 2-3 brands. Let's say Nike, Adidas, and Puma, or maybe Bata. These are the 4 that you decided that either of the one of the 4 that you. Once you have these zeroed down, okay, then you went on internet to look for the various options that you have, the color option, the size option, design, pattern, everything. So you went and Googled that. And after 4, then you say, okay, Bata may not be having something that matching my requirement. So for 4, it became 3. Okay, now you're left with Nike, Adidas, and Puma. So then you started looking for where to buy. Shall I go to shop or shall I buy online? And that is where you came to know that in the shop, in the regular offline shops, if you go, you will not get the kind of discount that you have. So it's better to buy it online. So that is where you say, and you also came to know, you realize that Puma doesn't have the kind of great offers going online. It can Adidas. So you remove that. Now you're left with only two options, Puma and Nike. And that is where you go online, search for it, and then you found the best discount matching your type, okay, you realize that Nike may not be having the kind of color choice, the durability, and also the discount and offer that is going on Amazon platform. So ultimately you decide to go in with Adidas. That is where you bought the Adidas shoe. And that is where we call it as a user journey, how the customer is onboarding on you. So you need to have a positive attitude about your customer. Who are your customer? Why are they using that? What they are using it? How did they come to know? All that comes in. So that is very, very important for you, the attitude towards customer. And not only customer till the purchase, post purchase. Now this is the second part of attitude towards customer comes in, is post purchase. Now a customer has bought a product from you. What is the experience that you are giving to the customer after he or she has bought the product? What is the, in case the product requires servicing, okay, could be some of your electrical durables and other such thing. What is the refund or what is the servicing that you have? If the customer is not happy with the product which he or she has bought it, how will you go ahead with the refund process? How quickly you will refund it? Or if there is a replacement has to be done, how quickly that you are able to do that? All this is important. Now, so many of you who do not buy products on certain e-commerce platform. You buy it on Amazon, you don't buy it on Flipkart, you buy it on Myntra, you don't buy it on Amazon. Why? The reason is very simple. The kind of experience that particular marketplace or that particular portal gives it to you in comparison with X and Y. Okay, so that is one of the reasons. So how customer friendly the UI, user interface, and UX, user experience, are built in to your app or your product or the platform that you have. That's very, very important. So this is again the customer. You need to always put yourself in the customer's shoes and try and understand why is it that he or she is buying from me? Okay, how I can reduce the anxiety, okay, and purchase investigation, purchase experience, and post-purchase experience. That is very, very important for you. Okay, then you have attitude towards technology. We remember one, the technology that we have. We need to be constantly knowing what is the technology which is coming, what is a new thing. Now today, look at it. A lot of us are going towards Meta. Okay, in another 1 year's time, or maybe sooner than that, companies will be getting into metaverse. Okay, companies are now looking at virtual realities and augmented reality. Augmented reality is where you can give an experience, immersive experience to your customer through website. Look at Lenskart. You can try various glasses frames sitting in your home on your laptop or your own phone. You can try different frames and see and decide which one looks good on you, and then decide to buy that one. That's augmented reality. Virtual reality is more immersive, where wearing those glasses, it gives you an immersive experience of being there and doing that what you want to do. So that is where that you have. So technology is moving. Okay, internet consumption is moving. India is now #1 when it comes to consumption of data. Okay, so we are #1. So in that scenario, but still we also have equally bigger chunk of people who are not at all on internet. So on one side, we are #1 when it comes to internet people connected on net. We are also #1 or the number of people not connected on internet. So this is a potential that you have. Okay, that's where technology comes in. That is where you say how to bring them to the usage part of it. Can I come out with some kind of experience? So that is again attitude towards technology. So these are some of the attitudes you need to inculcate as an entrepreneur if you are going into that area. I'll quickly do the entrepreneurship process. What are the process that we do? Which is idea generation. I keep meeting young founders who have got multiple ideas. They come to me with 2-3 different ideas. So I always say, don't have 2-3 ideas. Take one of them. Let's look at all the idea. Try and see which one is closer to reality, which one can be, because the idea is not how quickly you can make that idea into reality and start offering it. It also depends on The idea can be quicker to make, but if you don't have resources to make that idea, convert that idea into reality, again, you should drop that idea. Okay, if you have a good idea which can be converted into reality, but it requires a lot of money, okay, but you are short on funding, then again, you may need to raise funding to convert that idea into reality, or you may need to even drop it. What will happen if you have an idea, but that idea cannot be converted because the raw material or the process is something which is challenging. You need to idea the idea. So idea generation is very, very important for you. And that is when then we start the work of pre-startup. A lot of rules and regulation, registration, screening, getting into the process part, making a blueprint, making a business plan out of it, how the idea will go, what kind of money, what kind of process, how much time, all that comes in. This is the pre-startup stage. And then we have startup stage. That is where you float your startup, your business, you float your to move ahead with creating a venture for yourself. Then we go into growth stage, which is where you put your entrepreneurship vehicle into third gear, maybe fourth gear. That's growth come. That's where the momentum comes. That is where you have more customers coming in. And the last is exit, in case you're looking at exiting that particular business. Okay, that is the exit stage where you in your company or reduce your stakes in the company and raise additional fund. So these are the possible things. We'll quickly cover these steps, in just one minute on all that. Idea generation, we get ideas from various sources. We get ideas from employees. There are been companies where the ideas have come in from the employees itself. Look at the post-it, yellow post-it that you all use it. That has come from an okay. The Sony PS, that has also come from an employee. The product was not part of Sony's plan. It just come with one of the tech savvy employee who came with an idea. Okay, your own Gmail and Google Suite is also an employee or set of employees who are working in Google in their spare time, created this. Today, we all use Google Suite in a larger way. So a lot of employees come with ideas. Customers also come in with ideas. Certain time customers give feedback because of this, some ideas, generate. A lot of consumer durable companies make alteration in their product to suit the requirements of the customers who have advanced with the usage. Channel partner, that is your dealer, distributor, they also give you certain idea. Is that because they are very close, their ears are very close to customer, because ultimately a Hindustan Lever or a Maruti sitting in their office, they are not interacting with the customer. Or the wholesaler who are regularly in touch with the customer. So certain time customer will discuss certain things, and that is taken by the and sent back to the company that he is representing, saying that the customers are looking for this kind of slight variation, change, and other thing, which can be done to make it much. If yes, there is no good time or bad time, Manas. You can start it any time, as long as you know that you have taken it. Shilpa, can, after a couple of years, they start their idea. So that is also a stage which we have. You study, work for a couple of years, gain some experience, earn some money. Okay, and then use that money to create a bootstrap venture. So that is also possible. So there is no right time for an idea. You need to look at it. What position are you in to launch your idea? Okay, then next of the idea generation is research. You can research about the product. A lot of products which are developed after a lot of research, patent, and other things. Certain time competition comes in, your own competition. That is, supposing you are working on some product but your competitor launches another product and you can come out with a different variant of your own product just to counter your own competition which is there. So that is there. Your idea for your startup can also be based on a refined version of your competition which is there. Okay. Then you have idea evaluation. Now, there are 5 questions that you need to look at. You have to evaluate your ideas. This might be suitable for you. If you are done this evaluation stage, okay, you can move to the next stage, which is the product and service. What is the product that you are offering? Okay, so that's the first one. What exactly is the product? Somebody has put in a chat. So before starting a startup, we have fear of criticism with society and friends, how to deal with it. Focus on your people will come and always say, what is that you're creating? May not, but you need to keep going with that, Manas. I have seen, including when the Airbnb one of their room for a couple of days with some stranger. Okay, unless you have an agreement for rental for a month. Who wants to give a part of their house to somebody, to a stranger, just for a day or 2 or 3 days? But look at where is Airbnb. So that's the kind of response Airbnb got. Look at where Shadi.com is today. Who would have imagined that there will be a day where you look for your future husband or wife online. Okay, look for the person, read the profile, and then initiate a discussion. Okay, and then go in to meet the person, understand the person, and ultimately get married. Okay, but today you have Jeevan Sathi, Shadi.com, Matrimony. There are so many of them. So people will always have these kind of options for you. They will keep telling you, they will keep discouraging you, but then you need to focus on what is that you are looking at. If you see a value, if you are confident, you need to keep going. No, don't listen to the people who talk. Okay, now coming back, now there are 5 questions, which is your product and service. Okay, then you also have the next one is what is the business model? Now, how are you going to do it? You are manufacturing, or you are contract manufacturing, or you're going to import it and sell it, or it's a service that you are providing, or you're giving it a franchisee, whatever is that. So you need to have your business model ready. Is your business model ready? Where is the money coming? How is the money going? What kind of money is being utilized? What kind of products are being manufactured? All that has to come into your idea evaluation stage. How big is the market? This is very, very important, because at certain times, as you start your venture, if the market that you're catering to is very small, that will be always, your business will always be in pressure for a growth. So you need to look at it. You need to understand and estimate how big is the market. If it is 100 crore market, 1000 crore market, or 10,000 crore market. So that has to be there. You need to understand the potential of the market. Based on that, you can work backwards and create your own targets and create your own calculation that if I have to reach this kind of a product scale, is it possible for that? And if that scale is reached, what will be my manufacturing cost? What will be my servicing cost? And how are I going to deploy my fund and my products for my customers? How to protect the business? This is again, how do you protect your business from the competition? Okay, because remember one thing, the day you start your business, okay, people are taking note of what you're doing. Okay, though there is always an Amazon, for a Flipkart, for a Myntra, to a Meesho, there are always those things which are there. So you need to know how are you going to make sure that your business, your idea is protected. Okay, and you need to continuously keep upscaling your idea and give a different experience to your customers, so that the customers do not go outside your ecosystem. Okay, that's very, very important. So that is where you need to have that. How do you protect your business? By giving what experience to your customer? How much return on investment that you are getting in your own money? Let it be borrowed, let it be whatever way you got your money. What is the return you are getting it from your investment? That's very, very important for you, because if everybody look for return, why are you doing a business? You need to get something in return. What's the return on investment that you're looking at? And that is the crux of your entire business. That's your idea evaluation. The startup stage, evaluating the opportunity, I've already discussed. Developing the business model, you need to have your financial model, your manufacturing model, product model, all those models. Writing a business plan, very, very important for you. As you move ahead with creating your own venture, you got to have your business plan ready. accessing the required resources, you need to know what is. And remember one thing, resource here does not mean money. It is money, manpower, equipment, technology, and the platform, everything. Okay, so here resources is not one, it's a multiple. You got to have a co-founder, you got to have a mentor, you got to have people finance, you got to have people manage your sales, you got to have people who manage your production, all that. So you need to know what are, you may require even a land. Okay, you may even require a small to either run your office or to manufacture the product. Remember how Amazon started in a small garage. Okay, so that's why you need to have, you'll have a requirement of a space for that. So that is also resource that you have. So once you assess the requirement of resource, you need to start acquiring those resources. If you need a small space of, let's say, 500 square feet for 2 people to sit, keep your computer, keep some boxes and start doing something, you need to look at that resource. Where is the space for to sit and work? That is where your next step for startup thing comes. Then you have to start managing your business. And this is where you put your business into motion. Your startup goes forward. Okay, these are your startup stage. And then you have growth stage, expand business by geographical expansion. Some of you will be knowing it because I have already done it in my previous session with you people. The big basket that you see all over India today was not started all over India overnight. It was started with a small space covering a small fraction of a space in Bangalore, which is Marathalli, Sarjapura, and Electronic City. That is where the delivery of big basket started so many years back when they were founded. Okay, and then as they saw that customer liked the idea, they want to keep buying it, and they found it beneficial to have a big basket where you can buy your vegetable, groceries, fruits, and everything. And then they started increasing their scope of presence, scope of delivery across Bangalore. Slowly they came to Indranagar, Koramangala, and then reached out to the entire Bangalore, then moved outside the Bangalore in more potential area. And today they are there in so many cities across the length and breadth of the country. So expanding geography is part of your growth. You may start with one part, either a city or part of city, but then you need to keep scaling up to cover a larger geography. India being a very big country, it's always a challenge. Diversity of product and service. Amazon started way back those days by delivering only books. Today, their logo itself says that they have A to Z everything. Okay, so there are a lot of things that you have. They have thousands and thousands of SKU they have. Okay, so which they can deliver to you, right from a bucket to a mug to a to a light to a bed sheet to anything that they have. So you need to keep seeing how to diversify and give a richer experience to your customer. So when the customer comes on board, he can find variety there. He can find more options for them to buy. The same thing about service. If you are giving a service, you today look at Paytm. You can scan and pay. You can put the name of the person with mobile number. You can pay to the other person. You have a Paytm mall there. All that you can pay utility bills on that. So that is where you keep on diversifying the service. You keep giving you more value to your customer. Identified target audience. So growth means you have identified a target audience earlier, but then you have started reaching out to them successful. Can you look at making site alternate adjustment and increase your customer base to cover a larger audience, which is there. So that is where you have a wider audience base that can onboard. Analyze the competition, always keep looking. When it comes to growth, the competition will always come in in a big way. Competition will always come in saying that, okay, I also want to do it. So you'll always find competition coming in as we are growing. Growth stage will always have competition coming in. You need to know how to tackle that. Okay, that's a growth sign. Then you have a build team, and that is where your team is very important. You don't want to keep on spending time and effort and money on onboarding people. You got to have the people who are there as a support system for you. Growth stage is very, very important. You need to become a people's manager. You need to know how to manage your employees, man managers, as we call it. So that's very, very important. I think there's a power cut. Am I there? Am I audible?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, there is a power cut. So that's Result 80-20 business ratio. Remember, 80% of your business comes from 20% of your customer. Okay, so that's very important for you. Your biggest of your customers are the ones who are with you or being with you. So your biggest chunk of customers, are a smaller base of customer. Okay, so that means you need to know in growth stage, each and every customer who is with you is important for you. Okay, so that's your growth stage. And then you have promote business online. That is where you start looking at how to promote the business online using digital techniques, using other techniques that you have. Franchise channel development, certain wow momos. You all know the wow momos. You've been eating it. It started with two young people who kept a small stall at a shopping mall in Calcutta. Okay, I'll come to your question, Manas. Okay, so they kept a small stall in a mall in Calcutta so many years back to sell momos. And as the product started getting accepted, they started expanding. Today, they are on a franchise model where you can take the franchise of Wow Momo, and it is more than 1,000 crore company that you have. So you need to look at it. If you have to expand, can you expand by your own presence, or can you leverage your brand and product and technology to somebody to become your channel partner or your franchise? How to choose a good team, any specific team? Look for people with like-minded, and there should be balance. Look at. I always give the example of boat. Aman Gupta is very aggressive, very aggressive, very open to attempt experiment and very heated up this thing. Whereas his co-partner, I'm not getting his name, he's very calm and composed thing. So there are a lot of times, it happens that the compatibility of two or more co-founders are how you are able to become value for each other. If maybe you are good in finance, so you need to look at a co-founder, okay, who is good in marketing, or it could be a person who is good in technology. Okay, so like that, you need to find out where I don't have skill. Can I get a co-founder who has got skill in that specific area? So that will supplement your business. Then you have exit is one. You all know how the companies are listed on share market. Mergers, you can do marketing, you can buy out, or you can sell out yourself. Private offering, you can give it some of the celebrities, sports people, film stars, and other such business people. They buy a small stake in some of the startups that happen. This is a private offering. Venture capital, which is there. You have angel investment, you have venture investment. Shark Tanks is one which is there. All of you must be knowing that. Some of you will be watching the program. So those are called venture capital. There are some women who are here. I can see Nikita, Shilpa, and some of them. For them, I just added these two slides. Looking at women entrepreneurs. The opportunities are increasing for women entrepreneurs to come forward. There are a lot of options, a lot of schemes by the government of India for women to come out and create their own venture. Increasing education level. This one of the reasons for that is increasing education level, not only of the women who are coming and starting their own venture, also from the family, because the education is happening. So parents and other family members are also being supportive to such initiatives and ideas. They say, okay, go ahead, you want to start something, go ahead and start. So earlier time, we are not like that women cannot go out and work on. Those things have moved. We are now in an age and in an era where family members are also supporting, your own parents support, your own sibling support. So education level is increasing. Risk-taking ability, there are a lot of women folks who are there to either go out and take the risk with bootstrapping their venture, or their friends and relatives are taking the risk of investing in their ideas and other things. So women are also developing the temperament for taking the risk, which is again a great thing which is happening. Government support, as I mentioned, there are a lot of schemes by the government of India to encourage startups by women folk in various areas. Family support, which is coming in by there are a lot of parents who have invested in their own women, girls, their startups and other things. Changing social dynamics, which is happening. A lot of encouragement is coming from the near and dear for the entire thing. So the whole dynamics of supporting the women entrepreneur, working with them. Earlier there was a time, how can you work for leader? So those thought processes have gone down. It is no more there. As long as you have a leader who is able to lead you, understand you, give you opportunities, and respect what you're doing, it's good to go. So that dynamics is also changing. Some of the women entrepreneurs who are here: Kiran Majumdar Shah, based out of Bangalore; Biocon. You have Vandana Luthra, which is VLCC beauty product. You have Falguni Nair, which is for Nykaa. Nisaba Godrej, part of the Godrej family. All these are some of the women entrepreneurs you have. Okay. Now with this, I'm open to questions, and I'm missing this part, okay, which is nothing but a story which was there. This is my contact. If anybody wants to reach me, you can reach me. Okay, and I'm open to questions now. If anybody wants to have any question, it's ma'am, is it right time for me to take the questions? I will stop sharing. Yeah, I think now, Vidya ma'am, if you can unmute all of them so that they can ask direct question rather than trying. Sir, what is bootstrapping? Bootstrapping, Rajvi, is nothing but you start your business with a small set of your own money, either the money that you have saved by working couple of years, or if you have borrowed ₹1 lakh from your father or somebody, with that you start. So that's called bootstrapping, where the fund is always in limited quantity. So that's called bootstrapping. Anybody else? Any questions? I am open to questions. Please ask questions. No issue. We still have around 10 minutes or so. No questions. You know, there are only 2 times where there are no questions. I don't know whether I've said that to earlier. Only when everything is so crystal clear, I understood everything that you spoke, I have no question, or everything was so gray, I didn't understand anything. So obviously there is no question. I hope it is not the second one in your case. No reaction, no response.
If you have any questions regarding startups or anything related to entrepreneurship, you can raise your questions.
Surprising, no question.
Sir, on behalf of students, I would like to ask, particularly for students, engineering students, what are the schemes available? Brief about
schemes for funding. Yeah. So first thing, if you have a startup that is coming up, so first thing what you do is that you need to go Startup India website, register your startup. Okay. Get your PAN number, your other numbers, and get it registered on Startup India, Government of India website. The moment you do that, it take a week or 10 days for them to approve your startup. Once that is done, you get a certificate, which is called, recognized certificate from Startup India, DPIIT, as we call, Department of Promotion of and Technology, Information and Technology. So that you get a certificate. Okay, that certificate is your certificate for existence of your startup. Once you get the certificate, you can apply for something called Startup India Seed Fund, which is again a Government of India scheme, wherein whichever city you are there, you can go to Startup India website. You will find the list of incubators which are there. Okay, in each city or each main cities of the state, like Bangalore, Hubli, Mysore. These are some of the places in Bangalore which are in Karnataka. So each state will have a couple of incubators which are recognized by Startup India, Government of India. You need to apply to get incubated under those. Okay, you can apply for 3 such companies to get incubated. One of them will be accepted. And the moment you get incubated, within 3 months of that incubation, or between 3 to 4, 5 months, you will get the seed fund, which from the Government of India, without any stake. Okay, without any stake. You don't need to dilute any stake. You don't need to give even 1% of your company's ownership to anybody, because this is Government of India grant which is there, and grants are not tied up with the percentage stake. So this is where you get, and a lot of these Indian Institute of Science, IITs, IIMs also have got their own incubation. Some of the Karnataka government has got something called Karnataka Evolute, which is there. Evolute is there, and then there are a couple of other things which are there. Okay, so that is again Karnataka government schemes which are there. Not only on the regular thing, you also have on tech front and all that you have evaluate. evaluate, which is there. So those are the things which are there. There are a lot of, each of the state has got their own set of incubators which are recognized by the Government of India. Okay. What books you recommend for new entrepreneurs, sir? Manas, I won't say any particular book. There are a whole lot of books which are there. I have not been reading many books, but yeah, I do spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. Okay. So if you connect me on LinkedIn, I can keep copy pasting and sending you some of these articles which do coming. Remember, the product or the service that you are getting into, okay, you have idea to get into, try and read more about how that particular product is working, what are the undercurrent there, how the product comes in, why the customer buys it, okay, how to win the customer in that product zone, all that. So books are there to keep you motivating, but then you need to get into little more focus. Books are there on general, but for your business, okay, you need to look at it, in this business, what's happening, who are the international player, how they have come, how the technology in that particular product or service have grown over the years. Okay, so that you need to do. Micromanaging is that, you are getting too much. You tell a salesperson, this is what you need to do. And every half an hour you call that person and say, what happened? Did you call that fellow? Did you send an email? That's called micromanaging. And today's world, today's the environment that we are doing, micromanaging is not something which is appreciated by anybody. Because if I'm working for a company, I know what is I'm supposed to do. If my boss comes in every 1 hour, asks, Kya hua? You did that? Did you send an email? All that. I find, yeah, what is the micromanaging? You want a result at the end of 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month. I'll give you that result. Why are you asking me, where did I put a comma? When did I send an email? When did I call? That is something called micromanaging. Organizations have grown to avoid that scenario. Vidya ma'am, I think I answered your question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is one more question by Shreyas. What are some effective strategy for developing and scaling a service started in today's competitive business? In one line, hard work, okay, and being open to learning from the environment that you are working. So those are the things. Hard work is that there are young founders I know, they work for 18 to 20 hours in a day in the initial period as they are starting their startup and growing their startup. So that's one time which is going. So there is no alternative to hard work. This specific area requires too much of hard work, and also open to refining your idea. There is no hard, I have made this, only this will be successful. I am not open to change. Be flexible. So that's where you are. Shares. Anybody else? Okay, any other questions? No questions. You can be in touch with me if you want. You can reach me out. I'm available on LinkedIn. That's the best way to reach me, because every 1 hour or 2 hours I am on my LinkedIn. Okay, so my name is Prakash Nimbalkar. You can easily find me on LinkedIn, and you can connect with me and we can take it up from there. Okay. Thank you, Shreyas. Thank you, Manas, and thank you, Dr. Vidya.
Thank you, sir. It was wonderful session. I think our students have greatly benefited out of this workshop, online workshop. So on behalf of Janata Education Society, Vivekananda Institute of Technology, I would like to thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts and sparing your valuable time with us. Thank you, sir. Also, I would like to thank Dr. Padmanabh, Principal, Vivekananda Institute of Technology, for his constant support and encouragement in conduct.
Yes.
Also, I would like to thank Vice Principal Dr. D.V. Chandrasekhar, sir, for his support and encouragement. And I would like to thank IIC Chairman Dr. Shashikumar, sir, Convener Vanajakshi Madam, and all the heads of the departments, staff members, teaching and non-teaching staff members, and my dear students and participants for your support in successfully conducting this online workshop.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Feedback link will be posted in chat, so you can give your valuable feedback. Yes, all of you, please fill the feedback. Give your valuable feedback and you will get a certificate for having been attended this workshop.